Of Ogwin.
The claws. He literally showed us just how terrifying a Masha could be after the dozen of buffs we've been talking about applied onto this hero. And he did not disappoint. I guess aside from the Master Assassin, he just decided to go for the additional movement speed, which made him all the more threatening for the heroes of Smart Omega, which were more low in terms of mobility, since he was able to chase after them faster. But the damage output, it was definitely there. He did not lack when it came to the damage. I mean, look at this. It's a Blade of Despair. It's the Malefic Roar. And he was also able to deny to some extent, the sustain that some of the heroes from Smart Omega could have actually done using the Sea Halberd pickup he also had here. And we are actually able to see, as we look back on the highlights, just how impactful this Masha was able, or this Masha has been, either providing or actually engaging for the team. So again, we've mentioned how there is not necessarily a huge or a major setup skill coming in here from AP Bren, but the impact that the Thunderclap brings to each and every target they find is just enough for them to continuously commit onto the engages that are started by Ogwen. So if not for the engages though, those moments where Ogwen also comes from behind, such as this, to actually give AP Bren the information that those from behind, they already are very, very low, or if not very, very low, I've successfully taken them out using my consecutive Thunderclaps, and also the damage I am able to put out by shredding, or not just shredding, literally feeling like he somehow bursted down the heroes in the backline here for AP Bren. And he is able to bring so much pressure, as we can see even here in the last few moments. He was also the one who decided to start everything and eventually just deal the damage that's necessary. And that follow-up coming in from Few to take down Jome, who was one of the major factors as to why Smart Omega was able to defend the first Lord, was also one of the biggest things as to why AP Bren was able to eventually secure that 18-minute game. So again, looking back at the emblems, not much not much that has been different from what we typically expect them to use as they pick up these particular heroes. More on the additional mobility as well, I suppose, for the several quantum charges here picked up by Smart Omega. But again, the threat of Ogwen and the chase here, not just by Ogwen, but even by the Baksha Shield unity here of Kaltizi and the Lycan Pounce, or the added movement speed of Roger once he actually sees the very low HP members. Well, all in all, we're more efficient in trying to chase down Smart Omega. And right now, the game ended with such a significant gold lead, and none of the, even Luis here, as we can see, not even Luis or the frontliners, which we don't know if we can consider them to be completely frontliners in this case, were able to actually handle all the damage that came in from the members of AP Bren. It was literally too much to handle, and we can see here in our overall statistics how AP Bren was also able to take all of these titles. The Rich Guy, the Carry, Sandbag, they were all on the side of AP Bren, even Kyle TZ. So this just shows that even upside, or even amidst the immense amount of pressure that AP Bren was able to put into Smart Omega, it was still Kyle TZ who was able to spawn.
Loaded. Good luck to us both. Anyways,
Loaded.
let's go back into game number 2 and award our MVP. Once again, it's none other than Super Marco. His second time playing the gold lane Roger as it makes its debut here in MPL Philippines Season 13. Brigida, tell us how this happened.
And he pretty much demonstrated how to do the skills in real life. But what really mattered the most was ultimately how he was able to pull off this Roger performance. Not like how we'd expect it to be, mostly revolving around all that lane bullying and really making your enemies low. There was an attempt, but we really also commended Dome for also putting up a great fight in the lane. But what mattered was that he never was left behind in terms of the farm, and that when he could really time the transformations well, whenever he had to use his human form, whenever he had to use his wolf form. And it was all made possible as well by the assistance of these, or his teammates, who were also very well-rounded in trying to anticipate where all of the players from Smart Omega would be coming from, would be running to, and when they really set their eyes on something, it's so hard to stop AP Bren. And it's also something that was super visualized to us in the way that they were able to immediately adjust and execute this match, which ended quicker or faster as compared to game number 1. But there were also attempts from Smart Omega as well earlier to at least go for the surprise attacks, or at least try to go around and surround AP Bren as well, but it really didn't matter. It wasn't something that surprised them as much. Even these final slashes that weren't necessarily immediately provided, the follow-up weren't also capitalized on here by Smart Omega. It was really AP Bren who was able to show us that perfect or that really clean gameplay throughout that match, which again ended in 15 minutes as compared to earlier, faster by 3 minutes. So as we look at the emblems again, very standard still. We see how even Joe actually also picked up the Master Assassin as well, so probably also explains to some extent how he was able to manage the lane up against the Roger or Super Marco on that Roger, but it still wasn't enough. They weren't able to convert much, get much kills, and apart from kills, they were almost always denied from getting objectives, which is another resource where they could actually take some gold from. So this lead, or this 11k gold lead, was seemingly like a replay of also what we've seen in the previous game. It was literally very hard for Smart Omega to find ways to get the resources, because it also came to a point where AP Bren, they were slowly starting to just deny them constantly, especially the jungler. Matt here found a very difficult job to even just continue or do his jungling pattern just because of the immense pressure brought to him by the members of AP Bren, by the high mobility members here of AP Bren. So here we're seeing how well distributed the damage was in AP Bren's side, which just goes to show just how connected, or just how beautiful they were able to coordinate whenever they were going for the engage. So it was, or most of the kills were really leaning towards their side, but it's also mostly because they were just really, or they had their eyes set so much on what they were able to do. And Kyle TZ, this time, as you can see in the heat map, it was all over the map once again. Seemingly a rotation you would expect from heroes such as the Baksha, which surprisingly was not something that we were able to see here from Matt. It was something that Kyle TZ